Welcome to Just Telling Stories. Without further ado, let's get into the story. Once upon a shattered dream, in a quaint and seemingly idyllic suburban neighborhood, lived a woman named Emily. She was a gentle soul, her heart woven with love, trust, and devotion toward her husband, Daniel. But little did she know that beneath the facade of their seemingly perfect marriage, a dark and treacherous secret lay dormant, ready to rip their lives apart. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a gloomy shadow over their once blissful abode, Emily sensed a strange and unsettling tension lingering in the air. A nagging intuition gnawed at her, urging her to explore the depths of her suspicions. With a heavy heart, she embarked on a journey that would forever change her perception of love and commitment. The house seemed eerily silent as Emily crept through the dimly lit corridors, her footsteps muffled by the weight of her growing dread. The familiar creak of the bedroom door echoed ominously in her ears as she pushed it open, revealing a scene that would forever be etched in her memory. There, in the disheveled embrace of their once sacred space, lay Daniel, entwined with another woman. Emily's heart shattered into a million pieces as the sight engulfed her like a tidal wave of anguish. Her trembling fingers clutched at her chest, desperately seeking solace that had been cruelly stolen from her. Tears streamed down her face, mingling with the wreckage of her shattered dreams, as her gaze fixed upon the two figures tangled in a web of deceit. The woman, a seductress with fiery red hair cascading over her bare shoulders, possessed a sly smirk that betrayed her wicked intentions. Daniel, his face contorted with guilt and shame, attempted to shield himself from the hurricane of emotions brewing within Emily. As the room spun around her, Emily's voice pierced through the silence, a mix of rage and heartbreak intertwining in her words. She demanded answers, her voice quivering with a mix of vulnerability and fury. The air grew thick with tension as accusations flew like poisoned arrows, each one piercing deeper into their crumbling marriage. Daniel, his face a mask of remorse, stuttered through excuses, weak attempts to justify his betrayal. But his words fell upon deaf ears, drowned out by the cacophony of Emily's anguish. The room became a battleground, their love shattered and strewn across the battlefield, leaving only scars in its wake. Time seemed to stand still as Emily absorbed the magnitude of the betrayal that had unfolded beneath her own roof. The sanctity of their union had been violated, their once unbreakable bond now forever tainted by infidelity. The walls of their home echoed with the shattered remnants of their love, a haunting reminder of the devastation that had transpired. In the aftermath of this cataclysmic revelation, Emily's heart became a barren wasteland, consumed by a darkness that threatened to swallow her whole. The echoes of her sobs reverberated through the empty halls, a mournful symphony of lost trust and shattered dreams. And so, in this harrowing tale of a woman catching her husband cheating, the walls of their once sacred home echoed with the painful remnants of a love now lost, leaving Emily to pick up the pieces of her broken heart and forge a path toward healing, forever scarred by the treachery that had unfolded before her eyes. As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, Emily found herself navigating through a desolate emotional landscape. The wounds inflicted upon her heart seemed insurmountable, yet she clung to a flickering ember of hope, a glimmer of resilience that whispered promises of strength and growth. With a determined spirit, Emily sought solace in the company of friends and family, those who had stood by her side through the darkest of times. Their unwavering support became the fuel that propelled her forward, urging her to reclaim her sense of self and rebuild the shattered fragments of her life. Embracing therapy, Emily delved deep into the labyrinth of her emotions, confronting the pain head-on, refusing to let it define her. Each tear shed and each agonizing revelation unearthed became stepping stones on her journey toward healing and self-discovery. In the midst of her anguish, a newfound sense of clarity emerged, guiding Emily to a realization that she was not defined by the actions of her unfaithful husband. She deserved love, loyalty, and happiness, and she refused to settle for anything less. With renewed strength coursing through her veins, Emily made the difficult decision to confront Daniel, to face him one final time and sever the ties that bound them. In a quiet and sterile room, amidst the sterile walls of a lawyer's office, The final chapter of their once promising love story was etched into stone. Though scars remained, Emily chose to shed the weight of her past, embracing the freedom and possibility that lay before her. She began to rebuild her life from the ground up, fueled by a newfound sense of self-worth and an unyielding determination to create a future filled with joy and fulfillment. Days turned into nights, and seasons came and went as Emily found solace in her own company. She discovered passions long forgotten, pursued dreams that had been buried beneath the rubble of her shattered marriage. Slowly but surely, she began to thrive in her newfound independence, radiating a strength and resilience that inspired all those who crossed her path. And as time passed, a glimmer of love appeared on the horizon, like a sunrise after a long and stormy night. It was unexpected and tentative, but genuine and pure. In the arms of someone who cherished and respected her, Emily found a love that mended the fractures of her wounded heart. Though the memory of her husband's betrayal would forever be etched into her soul, Emily refused to let it define her. Instead, she emerged from the ashes of her shattered dreams, a phoenix rising, stronger and wiser than before. In this story of heartbreak and betrayal, Emily's journey was one of resilience, forgiveness, and self-discovery. Through the darkest of nights, she found the strength to rebuild and reclaim her life, proving that even the most devastating of betrayals cannot extinguish the flame of a determined spirit. Thank you for listening. If you like this story, drop a like, so I'll know to upload more stories like this. Until next time.